Dear students, this is lecture number 2 for 4th week and for 2nd term. In the previous lecture, lecture number 1 of this 4th week, we talked about equations of motion and then we derived first equation of motion graphically. So let's have a recap of what we talked about in the previous discussion. First, we talked about equations of motion. There are three basic equations of motion for bodies moving with uniform acceleration. This is very important condition that these equations are applicable or related when a body is moving with uniform acceleration. And these equations actually relate initial velocity Vi, final velocity Vf, acceleration, time and distance covered by a body. So these five parameters, initial velocity, final velocity, acceleration, time and distance, are the properties of a moving body, are characteristics of a moving body, and these are related by equations of motion. Then we derived first equation of motion graphically, and let's see how did we talked about it. We got speed time graph as shown here. Time is along horizontal axis and speed is along vertical axis, and this is the origin. This is the point where we started observation of the moving body, and we have seen that we got this graph. So this is the whole information given by the moving body, and here we have seen that this point is the initial velocity, and body with the passage of time body gets accelerated, it is its velocity increases, and after time t when time t is passing, the velocity of the body is increased to Vf. So this is the whole scenario is regarding the that moving body, and we see that this graph is as it is a speed time graph, so its slope or gradient gives us acceleration. So this AP line is actually the acceleration of the moving body, and it is obtained by this speed time graph. And how did we drive it? We have taken you see that if I complete this graph from this point to this point, here it is the initial velocity, height, and if you see the final velocity, it goes up to this point. So this distance from here to this point, it is actually Vf minus Vi, and this is the time. So if we consider the slope of this graph, so it is obtained by dividing this rise or perpendicular divided by this run or base. So we got acceleration equal Vf minus Vi divided by t. So after shuffling this equation, we get Vf is equal to Vi plus AT. So this is the mathematical form of the first equation of motion we had seen in the previous discussion. So let's start today's discussion. Let's have some words regarding the equations of motion. As you already know, there are three basic equations of motion for bodies moving with uniform acceleration. These equations relate initial velocity, final velocity, acceleration, time, and distance covered by a moving body. And again, the point is to simplify the derivation of these equations, we assume that the motion is along a straight line, and hence we consider only the magnitude of displacements, velocities and acceleration. So this is the generic information regarding the equations of motion. The topic for today's discussion is second equation of. We are going to discuss second equation of motion. So let's start. Consider a body moving with initial velocity vi in a straight line with uniform acceleration a. Its velocity becomes vf after time t. The motion of a body is described by speed time graph as shown in figure 2.26 by line AB. You see that this is the same graph we talked about in the previous discussion. Here, what's the difference between the previous discussion and today's discussion? We would be focusing on the distance covered by a body, and it is shown by a shaded areas under the line AB. This is the line AB, and we have seen that if you analyze the shaded area, there are two areas. If you consider this is a triangular area, and this area is a rectangular area. So the area shaded under the line AB is actually gives you the distance, and this distance is obtained by considering the area of this triangle. This is the triangle and this rectangle. So after summing these two areas, we finally get the distance covered by a body. So let's start with the second equation of motion. In speed time graph shown in figure 2.26 here, the total distance s traveled by the body is equal to the total area OABD under this graph. You are noticing that this is O, A, this is B, and this is D. So this whole area actually gives you the distance. And dear students, this whole area means from O, A, B, D. This can be broken down or bifurcated into two areas, mean this triangular area and this lower rectangular area. So you see here total distance S equal area of rectangular OACD plus triangle ABC. So by summing the areas of rectangle and triangle, we get the total distance S. Here the area of rectangle OACD, you see O, this point is OA, this point is C and B, this area. It's a rectangular area, and you know how to get the area of a rectangle? Length times width. So OA is, you can say, it's the width of the rectangle, and OD, it's the length of the rectangle. So the area of this rectangle is OA times OD, and it is very visible from the graph that OA means this side, this width of the rectangle is represented by VI, and this length of the rectangle is shown by this time T. So VI times T, length times width. This is a simple formula to get the area of a rectangle. Now come to the area of a triangle ABC. Here you see that this is A, B, C triangle, and you are already familiar with the how to find the area of a rectangle. Area of rectangle is 1/2 times AC AC is actually, you see that it's a base of the triangle AC times BC. BC means this height or perpendicular side of the triangle. So 1/2 times AC. AC, you see that it's the time axis because this is the time axis, so it's parallel to AC. So it's time times this is to be noted down. BC is 80. This side is 80. And how is it 80? So let's clarify it. So this BC is 80, as you see here. You are noticing that from this time axis to this height, there is, the body is having initial velocity vi, and from time axis to this B point, the body gets Vf. So this spacing is Vf minus Vi. It is clear from the graph, and you know Vf minus Vi is equal to 80, mean gain in speed. That's why it is given that BC is 80. So we have found the area of rectangle equals Vi times T, and the area of triangle equal 1/2 times T times 80. So simply just add them to get the total area. So total area equal area of rectangle OACD plus area of triangle ABC. So area of rectangle OACD we have found it as VIT, so we put it here VIT, and area of triangle ABC, mean this triangle ABC, we have found 1/2 times T times 80, and we put it here. So dear students, just summing VIT plus 1/2 T times 80, you simply get VIT plus 1/2 80 square. So this is the distance obtained by this speed time graph, mean area under speed time graph, and it equals to the distance covered by a body, and it comes to S equal VIT plus half 80 square, and this is termed as the second equation of motion. And you can easily observe that this second equation of motion relates distance covered by a body with its initial velocity, time to cover that distance, acceleration, and again square root of the time. So dear students, we have derived second equation of motion with this graph 2.26, and finally we got this equation, which is the mathematical formalism for second equation of motion, and it is read as S equal VIT plus 1/2 80 square. Now dear students, as we did in case of first equation of motion, we have applied first equation of motion in daily life situation, that is termed as numerical problem or application of equation of motion. So let's talk about numerical problems relating to second equation of motion. And here example 2.12, according to your book, the situation is given as a bicycle accelerates at 1 meter per square second, mean acceleration is given from an initial velocity of 4 meter per second, mean initial velocity is given for 10 seconds, mean body is moving for 10 seconds, this is the time. Find the distance moved by a body, mean we have to find S, this is to be found out during this interval of time. So dear students, as I told you regarding kinematics, because whatever we are discussing nowadays, it is regarding kinematics, and kinematics is whatever the present situation is given, and on behalf of present data we can predict the future. So here you see that in this example, a numerical problem, initial velocity of the body is given, and it is given that the body is accelerated with this 1 meter per square second. So after time 10 seconds, how much distance is traveled? So it is a prediction based on provided the initial data is given. So these equations of motions helps us to predict the future given the present. So this data matches with this second equation. So Vi is 4 meter per second, time is 10 second, 1/2 acceleration is 1 meter per square second, and time is again 10 second, and square of it because this is 80 square, t square is given. So after manipulation, this is the simple arithmetic manipulation. So 4 times 10 equal 40 plus 1/2 times 1 times 100 means 10 square 100, we get 50. So 40 plus 50, 90 meters. So thus the bicycle will move 90 meters in 10 seconds. So again, revising the application, we are given initial velocity, acceleration and time, and we are to predict the distance covered by the body. So with the help of this second equation of motion and plugging the values which are given, we have seen that distance is 90 meters. So this is the numerical problem which is solved with the help of equation or second equation of motion, or you can say this is the application of the equations of motion for relating to the day-to-day motions. For example, here motion of a bicycle is concerned or discussed. So students, let's do this numerical problem and see what the data is given. Here it is stated that a car starts from rest, mean initial velocity is equal to 0 meter per second. Here you must note the 2 points. One is given here that a car starts from rest. If it is stated in the problem, then you put initial velocity 0, and if it is stated that body is stopped after some time and covering some distance, then you put final velocity equal to 0. So these 2 points must be put in your mind for solving these problems by using equations of motion. And see what's next given. It requires a speed of 25 meter per second after 20 seconds. Mean the final velocity of the body is given as 25 meter per second, and how much time? T, 20 seconds. The distance moved by the car during this time is to be found out. Okay, so S is to be found out. So again, we are to match this given data with the any of the 3 equations of motion, and here we see that this data matches with the second equation of motion. So what's the second equation of motion? Vf is S is equal to this is the second equation of motion, Vit plus 1/2 A and square root of time. We have just derived it graphically, so now we are applying this equation for solving numerical problems. So here Vi is 0, plugging the values, time is 20 seconds plus 1/2, and acceleration is to be found out, and again the time is 20 seconds is given. So let's first find the acceleration. I solved it here. Acceleration, what's the definition of acceleration? Acceleration is Vf minus Vi by t. So what is it? Vf is 25 minus vi0 divided by time 20, and simplifying it, what we get? 1.25 meter per square second. So we got acceleration, so we plug acceleration here. So this equation becomes, if you multiply 0 into 20, we get 0 plus 1/2 is already given. Acceleration we just calculated as 1.25 and 20 squared, 20 times 20 equals 400. And if you simplify it further, after arithmetic manipulation, you get 250 meter as a distance. So S comes to be 250 meter. So dear students, provided this data, initial velocity, final velocity and time, we have found the distance by using this second equation of motion. Dear students, this is all about regarding today's discussion. We talked about equations of motion and we derived second equation of motion graphically, and then we did some numerical problems. That is, we have solved some numerical problems relating to the motion with the help of second equation of motion. Hopefully you get some important stuff regarding the equation of motion, particularly second equation of motion, and you have learned how to derive the second equation of motion with the help of graph. So see you in third lecture of this 4th week. So take care of yourself. See you next time.